Welcome. Today we're going to explore a really different way of thinking about employee wellness. We're not talking about it as just a perk, but as a core business strategy. And this is a perspective we've really cultivated right here at Pratimoksha, built on years of experience with some of Dubai's top companies.
You know, this quote just hits the nail on the head. It's a story we hear over and over from business leaders. A program starts with the best intentions, but because nobody really defined what success looks like, it's the first thing on the chopping block when budgets get tight. It's a frustrating cycle, and frankly, one we're here to help break. So to make a real sustainable case for wellness, you need a solid argument. Here's the roadmap for our explainer today. We're going to walk you through the exact framework we use to guide our partners towards success.
So where does it all go wrong? Well, the fundamental problem we see isn't about a lack of good intentions. It's what we call a failure of framing. It's all about how the whole conversation is positioned right from the very start.
Here's something we teach all the time at Pratimoksha. When wellness is only seen as a people initiative, it gets judged on feelings, and it's seen as just another cost. But when you frame it as a business initiative, suddenly it's evaluated on metrics and seen as an actual investment, something worth protecting.
Okay, let's bring this home, right here to the UAE. Let's talk about the real, tangible costs of not doing anything. These aren't just abstract ideas. These are numbers that are showing up on your balance sheet, whether you realize it or not.
And that's the big question, isn't it? What is the true cost of stress in your organization? Because the price of burnout and disengagement, well, it's way more significant than most decision makers think. It's hitting your performance, your retention, and your ability to grow. Just let this number sink in for a second. 90%. Over 90% of employees right here in the UAE say they're experiencing workplace stress. That's not some small fraction of your team. That's practically everyone. This is the environment we're all operating in.
And when that stress finally leads to someone quitting, the cost to replace them can climb as high as 200% of their annual salary. Now that is a hard cost that shows up very, very clearly on those spreadsheets we mentioned earlier.
And then there's this hidden killer, presenteeism. This is when your people are physically at their desks, but their minds are somewhere else. They're there, but they're not really there. Their focus is gone, their creativity is shot, and it costs companies way more than when people just call in sick.
Okay, so the problem's clear, the costs are real. The big question is, what do we do about it? How do you tackle this effectively? Well, this is where our experience points to a really specific, targeted solution.
You see, not all wellness initiatives are created equal, not even close. What we've found, and what the research confirms, is that yoga is just incredibly effective because it hits multiple problems at the same time. It reduces stress, it helps with the physical pain from sitting at a desk all day, and it even sharpens skills like decision-making.
And that's really the magic combination, you know? In our experience, it's one of the very few things that's low cost, super simple to organize, and has actual, hard evidence proving it works in a professional setting.
And this brings us right back to that spreadsheet problem. A strategic program needs strategic measurement. This is exactly how we help shift wellness from just a gut-feeling decision to a real data-backed investment. So how do we do it? At Pratimoksha, we build our programs around three key areas. We define success before we even start. We look at hard data like sick days and turnover. We measure engagement through things like job satisfaction. And we find clear ways to assess productivity. It paints a really clear picture of the return on investment. Just think about the contrast here. So many companies offer a gym membership that, let's be honest, gets used by less than 30% of the staff. With our on-site programs, we remove the barriers. That means you get way higher engagement, and you get clear, direct data on who's participating and what the impact is. The whole point is to make it practical. We bring the sessions to you either on-site or online, and we structure them to fit right into the workday. This isn't just another thing on the to-do list. It becomes a seamless, welcome part of the company culture.
But you know, beyond all the data and all the metrics, there's something else. There's one really powerful outcome that experienced leaders consistently tell us is the most valuable part of all. It's where the intangible becomes very, very tangible. And here it is. This is the real impact. A consistent, well-run program sends an undeniable signal about your company's values. It says, we invest in our people, we protect their capacity. And that single message, it affects everything from who you attract to who decides to stay.
Our founder, Lalitha Viswanath, has built our entire philosophy around this simple, powerful idea. And notice what she's saying. This isn't just a wellness principle. This is a fundamental business principle. Protecting your team's capacity is the ultimate strategy for high performance.
So, we'll leave you with this question to think about. Is your current wellness program just a perk that can be cut? Or is it a genuine business asset that needs to be protected? We invite you to really consider that and to explore how a more strategic, measurable approach could transform your entire organization.